Let's go.
Congratulations! You've officially designed your cards. Hello? Do you realize where you're at? Okay. So now we're going to design the booklet, okay? This is an option. You don't have to have a booklet in your Oracle deck or cards, but you kind of do. In this section, we're really going to focus on the outward design of the booklet as well as the information inside. Now, very important, guys, your booklet is your guide. It's what's going to guide the person who's going to purchase or yourself to use your Oracle deck. So again, I'm going to suggest that you are going to use other people's booklets as a reference or as an inspiration. What do you like about it design wise? The information inside, the structure. See, for instance here, I love the fact that there was already, information about who produced it, who made it. You want to show that it's guidebook. You really need to look at the detail when you're creating your booklet. This is very, very important. I'm going to show you again everything step by step. We will use our trusty Canva to do this once again. Just a quick reminder that the template might change a little bit, but we're still going to design the formatting depending on the factory. Really take a moment right now. If I were you, just pause this video before you move on. Take a reference of maybe 1 or 2 booklets from Oracle decks that you already have. If not, that's totally fine. Maybe use mine if you haven't bought my Oracle deck yet. And you can just use that as a reference. Very important as well to go inside and check what did they write? How did they write it? For me, I kept things pretty simple, but I wanted to give such things as like spreads, idea of spreads, especially you're going to think of it as like your audience. Is this somebody who's an expert or is this somebody who has never read cards before? So I feel like you want to cater for both. For people who have never, ever read an Oracle deck before, and for people who are experts, they already know, they just want to skip through just to get the information. And again, at the end, you want to see that there's contact information. With mine, I mentioned the fact that my book, the Book of Realms, now I did this prior to my actual book being published, so I didn't have a book design, but I still put a little design there so people can find the book. They know it's related to the Oracle deck, so something for them to find. Again, I put the upright and the reverse. You want to keep it very clean and organized when we're going to do this in Canva. I kept mine very simple because I don't really sit there and read everything in there personally, but I did want to have things like, of course, we have the structure. Okay, so all of the cards, we know how many cards there are. Then I wanted to put how to protect how to create, a protection circle prior to doing your Oracle deck, because we are working with energies, we are working with beings that we cannot see, and I want to teach people how to protect themselves, because a lot of people can be afraid when they use their Oracle deck. They're afraid of lower entities entering or interfering. So I wanted to make sure that people knew exactly how to do that. On top of that, then I gave them some examples of spreads. Okay, I'm going to put all the references and images here so that you guys can see it closer to the screen. And then I just went straight into the cards. Okay, very simple. And then the design outside, again, I kept it very simple, just information, maybe a little picture of yourself at the back and a little bit of information about you and your work. Again, you want to think about the details though, guys, because you can see here they use 2 different colors. I'll show you in a minute how to design and do all of this, but first we're going to focus on the inside, the content of the cards. And remember how I asked you to write this prior in your Google Sheets? You're welcome. So then all you have to do now is copy and paste it. So let's get into it. Okay, guys, so here we are at my page and what I did, just to give you a quick example. But again, you're going to go to your create design. You want to use the same size as your Oracle deck because the booklet is going to be the same exact size as your cards. Okay, so you want to do 3 by 5. In my situation, 5 by 5, create new design. So there's going to be a little thing about the cards that later on we're going to have to adjust. I don't know if you noticed, but this is slightly on the right and this will be slightly on the left. You're going to use a template for that. It is a bit annoying, but when they print out the cards, of course, because of the way that the booklet is designed, it has to be a little bit like this. But as you can see here, I'm showing you the structure, how I did everything. I took my time to design this. So of course, if you want to do all of this prior, just use a template. So for instance, let's just say you want to use this template that I've done. You go back to your design, and you can put your logo here if you have a logo. If you don't have a logo, again, you can get as creative as you like. Maybe we're going to go with the cat design that I did originally, so you can use that as your logo or whatever you like. I'm liking this cat thing, by the way. I really feel like I could make an Oracle deck like this. So let's just say that's my logo. And then I'm using this as a reference. So you, of course, want to put the title. Again, guys, make sure the spelling is good, okay? Because let's call this the witch cat, the witch oracle cards, okay? Making up a name here. Again, we want to be consistent with the fonts and the designs, but let's just say I want something witchy because that's the vibe that we're going with in this one. I kind of just, ooh, that's cool. There you go. Okay, so let's just say we love this. Again, I'm going to use my cards as a reference. So we have guidebook, we have the name, and we have a little bit of contact information here. So very important, guys. You got to take note of all this sort of stuff. So, let's just say I'm going to put the names. I'm going to put my married name here. So it's Jacqueline Joyce. Again, we might want to use a slightly different font for this. Let's just say we want to use that one. Perfect. And you want to just keep it within the theme. And then, of course, you want to reuse that font. And let's just say your website or your Instagrams or whatever it is. So you can put at my Instagram is Jacqueline 444. You can make it smaller, just so, again, you guys have fun with this. And then maybe your website, which my website is themeditationchannel.com. Now, let's just say this is cute. It's simple, but you want to add some designs. Feel free to do that, okay? So moon, let's just do graphics. Ooh, see what I mean, guys? It's like, it gets interesting. Okay, so you could add that if you want to there. You could add the moon here where my name is. Very cute. I mean, I actually kind of like, you can do it the other way around here. You can add a Instagram symbol. Apparently I don't know how to spell. We already figured that one out. Now let's just say I like the Instagram symbol, but I don't want it in color because it takes away from my beautiful artwork here. You can just make it in black, okay? But again, you see where I'm going here, guys. Just make sure that everything is balanced. Actually, you know what? I feel like it needs like a witchy spell. Like a witchy, sorry. Ooh, that's fun. All right. So there you go. Okay. Let's just say this is the intro, right? You can imagine you open up the Oracle deck. That's the first thing. So next thing you want to do is you want to add a new page. And now in this booklet, I have the second page. I obviously wanted to give him a bit of a reference of the cards. So if you already know the number of the cards, again, you can use your Google Sheets as reference here. So you know all the numbers, okay? I would suggest you copy, I don't know if you can copy all of them. Let me just see if that will work. I mean, it gets a little confusing. So I would just suggest you're gonna have to write it out. Okay, so obviously keep the fonts going. So let's just say we like this font. So I'm gonna continue with this font. And then we can do copy that, make it smaller. So for now, don't worry about that structure that I showed you. Just keep it in the middle, but we're gonna have to play with that later. And then of course, we're going to do the boring thing here, which is incarnated. So what's so great about this, again, you wanna use another reference because you can see how many numbers they have. 1, 2, so there's from 0 to 22. Okay, so that gives you an idea of how many you can fit if this is what you wanna do. So you already know that this is pretty big. Here you wanna be using 1. Okay, so it's best to, I don't know how I did it here. Give me 1 second. Yeah, it is one format here. Okay, so I think you can, is there a way to do numbers? I'm sure there is, you know, some kind of structure. So this is already too big. Okay, so I can already tell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And so we know we want to do 22, right? So then we can copy all of this. Okay, and then we add 2 more. So remember always to leave space, guys, at the bottom. Voila. Okay, that one didn't quite come out the way we wanted it to, but there we go. She's got issues, this one. No, I can see the mistake. Okay, see, these are things that you got to pay attention to, because if you do one mistake, it messes. Also, that is like spelt wrong. Oh, I see, that's the 0. We're with it. All right, perfect. So we've got the structure. Now we just have to go through and obviously change the writing and the numbers. So let's just say the second is incarnated fairies. And of course we want to change 1. You can also just do this first, so you don't have to do it later. Okay, but you get the gist here, right, guys? And the cool thing is, once you've done this, all you have to do is that you're going to duplicate this. For the second page, you're going to take this out. You're going to continue the numbers here. So let's just say we got to 22, and so this will be 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, yada, 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 until you get to the number that you've written, okay? So it's gonna look like this. Okay, so I got down to 49 here. Next, how to cast a protection frequency circle. So this is what I wanted to do for mine. You don't have to do this. You can do whatever you want. What do you want to tell the audience? What do you want to teach them? What is your message? You can even write a story about the cards. You can put, let's just say you want to write about, you know, for instance, my cards are about witches. So you can write a whole history about witches, how to heal the witch wound. Maybe a story, your story as the creator of this oracle deck. Feel free to do whatever you want. I do, however, suggest that you're going to put oracle spreads or tarot spreads for them as an option. So I'm going to show you here. As you can see here, the 3 spread is a classic. Everybody loves the 3 spread. So it's the past, present, and future. Just to give you an idea on how I did this, I will quickly show you. And again, you put the information, card 1, card 2, card 3. Sorry, this is the next spread, the star spread. The 3 spread is up here. So card spreads for your oracle deck, for your tarot cards, whatever you want. So the 3 card spread, I wrote the information, what it means, and then I gave the design. Same thing here, the star spread. This is like essentially your present situation, the other side, the gateway, fears, blocks, and challenges, action steps, what's holding you back. Then I did the relationship spread. Okay, again, describing what each card means, showing how it's made. And then, of course, the good old Celtic spread, which is a classic, which I love, and I showed them here. And then the intuitive spread. This is something that I actually use when I do my readings all the time. So, quick example on how to do that. Once we've done our designs here, maybe you want to, again, write a story here, whatever you want. Remember that. And then to do the cards, I just used Canva. I found a design, a simple design, or, you know, you can use something like this, okay? And then I put the number inside. So we want to make it maybe, again, you can change the font if you want to keep the theme going. And voila. And so then let's just say you want to do the 3 spread. So you copy and paste it. You just put number 2. Copy and paste, and then number 3, okay? You might want to center that. Of course, this is kind of big, but that's fine. I don't mind it. You can also have the option, guys, of doing, which I did not do, but you can do this. You can just make it simple, okay? Do whatever you want. Past, present, and future, okay? You can make them a little bit smaller, maybe. You want them center, okay? You want to make sure that they're all the same. That's 9.8, so you can just do it here, 9.8. Great. And then if you like that, actually, I wouldn't use this font for that. I would probably go back to using the one that, you know, you want to keep it consistent, guys, with the fonts and everything. So we can do this, and then you can write card, the 3 card spread, and you can put it in the middle, you can put it in the side, again, make it oops, and then card 1. And so obviously then you want to write, this is about your present, okay? Card 2, you get the gist here, right? This is about your, sorry, past. And you can write a little bit more information in there. Like I'll show you what I did with mine. So let's just do the 3 card spread. What events or energies brought you here? Card 2, the present. What is the energy or focus in your life right now? And card 3, the future. What is on the horizon and what steps are to unfold? And then you got the 3 cards. So this is the star spread. Navigate significant life events or transitions by overcoming key insight. This spread helps you understand your current situation, identifying challenges. So I explained to them why they would choose the star spread, which is this one. And again, you put down all of the cards and then you show them how to do it. So you can do it however you want, guys. I have several designs. You can just give them one. You can not give them anything, completely up to you. Amazing. So now that we got that out of the way, let's get to the actual cards themselves. So I kept the design simple. You can get as creative as you want, guys. Just remember, this is your design. You can do whatever you want, but I made it black and white. Don't know why. I could have done it color, but I just decided to do black and white because I thought the printing was going to cost more. It did not. So if you want to do it in color, do it in color. But essentially, very simple here. You're going to drag and drop the card. Make sure that the size is always the same and consistent for every page, for every different card. Next, you're going to put, obviously, the card's info, and then you're going to put a little message. So this is where we're going to use our Google Sheets. So I'm going to show you how to do this. So let's get our card. Since we have the angel, okay, so we're going to drag and drop the angel. We're going to put her in the center. We're going to give her... you can put the info up here if you like, instead of the bottom like I did. It's completely up to you. So let's just say you want to do it here. Of course, you want to make it small where it fits everything. And this is the fun part, guys, because all you have to do then, once you've done the template, again, all you have to do is copy and paste everything. So we're going to use this font for the bottom. Now, this is where we go back to our Google Sheet. This is where we save ourselves hours of work. All right, so booklet message. Remember how we decided to write that before? I didn't write it here for whatever reason. I did write it for the fairy, okay? But let's just use this for now, just so you get the gist. So again, you're gonna copy and you're gonna paste it. Make sure, again, guys, that the spelling is correct. If you want to expand on it, expand on it. Do whatever you want. Whatever feels right to you. Make sure that it fits within the space because, I mean, mine stays a little bit out. So you can do that as well if that's what you want to do. Obviously not this wide. Let's just say you always want to leave a little bit of a gap here on the sides though, okay? Because again, when it comes to printing, this stuff gets tricky. Now, you can expand on this message. This is a very small message, but up to you. Now, if you can fit the reverse here, you can do that. But what I did is I wrote the message here and then I put a little reversed and then on the next page just to keep it clean. But if you don't have much here, again, you can just put it all in one page. So again, we go back to our Google Sheets. We go back to the reverse message. We copy and just going to, sorry, we're going to copy this first. Go back to your Google Sheets. And paste. Now we want to write reverse so people know what to expect, okay? You might want to give a little gap there. Now, again, if this fits, perfect, okay? If you want to do another page, just add another page and just add it to the next page. Now, easy peasy from now on, all you have to do is duplicate. You're going to find your other design. You're going to drag and drop. Now, little tip here, guys. To keep the consistency, you want to use the old one as a template for the same shape and for the same size. But if you know if it fits, if it's centered, all I do is I remove that and then I delete the old one and then I just move it into its place. Of course, you're going to change Incarnated Fairies. Of course, I can't spell. And she wrote 4 books, guys. So don't ever let your spelling get in the way of your talent. And again, we're going to go back to our Google Sheet. So let's pretend that this is the right one. We're just going to do the same thing. So this is the fairies. Of course, before I just used this because I didn't write anything here, but you're going to copy. Obviously, this is the same message, but I'm just showing you what to do. Paste. Then the reverse, guys, is already there. So again, copy. And you obviously don't want to get the actual reverse word and paste. Done. And then you move on to all the other cards until you get to the end. Now, remember, like I showed you here with my Oracle deck, I did add something at the end. So this is the last card. And then I added a little bit about the realms, the Book of Realms, okay? Get your copy. You want to, again, let them know who you are, your information so that they can find you. Again, you might want to put your social media here again at the back, information about you as the author. Maybe you can put a picture of you. That's super easy to do. You just download a picture. Of course, make sure it's high resolution and you can put it there. So this is the inside of the cards. Now let's get to the booklet design.